Okay, so nearly there. So we're on question 11. Write the following quadratic equation in the form ax minus p squared plus q, and hence find the minimum point of the curve. So we have to recognize that this formula, when we're told to write a question in this form, that means to complete the square. And we have to be able to recognize that. So complete the square. So for the first one here, completing the square, we have x squared plus 8x. We divide the 8 in half, which gives us 4, and we square it, and that will give us plus 16. We have to remember as well that we have to add in that minus 16, and we get plus 7. Putting this into brackets, we will get x plus 4 all squared minus 16 plus 7 is minus 9. And that's our answer. Okay, minimum point of the curve. So our minimum point, we have to remember as well, is that PQ. So our minimum point is going to be minus 4 minus 9. Okay, looking at the next one, we have to do something similar to what we did in the last type of question, which is first factor out that 3. Plus 10 over 3. Okay, then we do the same thing that we did before. We divide the 4 by 2, which gives us minus 2, and then we square it, which will give us plus 4. We also have to incorporate that minus 4, and then we get plus 10 over 3. Okay, inside our brackets we can have x minus 2 squared minus 4 plus 10 over 3. So 10 over 3 minus 4, and that will give us minus 2 over 3. So you can just do that on your calculator. And then tidying up a little bit, multiplying that 3 back inside, we should get this here. Okay, then picking as our minimum point, again, we pick it out the same way. Because our formula is minus p, and we have minus 2 there, we know that p is 2, and q is minus 2. So your minimum point should be 2 minus 2. And we know they're both minimum points because we know from the way that the quadratic is written that this is a positive quadratic, that it is U-shaped, and that our answer then, we are going to have a minimum point as opposed to a maximum point. The last part here gives us a quadratic equation with a minimum point of 3 minus 11. And we are asked to give the equation in the form of the completed square that we have from before. So y is equal to a on x minus p, that should be squared, plus q. Okay, so we don't know what a is yet. We know that given our minimum point is p, and the other minimum point is q. And that is the best we can go so far. Next, we are told a point that the curve passes through, which is 0, 7. We have to recognize that that point is xy coordinates, and when we say that the curve passes through that point, we mean that that point will satisfy the equation. So when y is equal to 7, x is equal to 0. So 0 minus 3 squared minus 11. We can tidy it up a little bit before we go any further. Minus 3 squared minus 11. 7 is equal to a times 9 minus 11. So we have 7 is equal to 9a minus 11. So that means that 9a is equal to 18 and a is equal to 2. So fully our equation will be y is equal to 2 x minus 3 squared minus 11. And that is our final answer for that question and the final question on your worksheet.